to check them on their balls. All you need to check, really, the magic is when you're sitting on it, your thighs should be about parallel to the floor. So if I show you myself from the side, I shouldn't be, if I try and go, I won't do that, downwards on it. If I was heavier and I was sinking further down and my knees were somewhere up here, that's not great. It just puts a bit of a strain at your back, and it's really difficult to lift your legs because your legs are already going backwards a little bit. So they should be either flat here or maybe going a little bit downhill. So if yours are going slightly downwards, that's good as well. Right. Let's all sit on our balls, and we're trying to sit right on the top of the ball. So not at the very edge, so you feel like you're sort of down to the floor and there's a lot behind your bottom. Right on top, and have your legs quite wide. You might have mat under your leg, or you might have carpet or floor, it doesn't matter. You've got your grippy feet, either bare feet, grippy socks, or trainers. I'm just going to go backwards a little bit. And the first thing we're going to do is place our hands on the ball either side, just because it's just going to give you a little bit more stability. You've just spread yourself out a little bit on the ball. And then I want you to move your feet just a little bit into different positions. And all I mean by that is maybe a little bit out and in, and the other one out. And you're just seeing what it's like. Oh, okay, do you feel like you're going that way? And then pause for a moment and think, well, do I need anything extra? If I really slid down that way or that way, do I need anything there to get me? So it might be you want to have a duvet down or something like that. We're not going to like roll the ball around the room or anything. So if you want things down on the floor, you can put things down there. But otherwise, we'll just move the feet. See if you can lift them slightly off the floor. You're right, Rachel.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about class and put my pajamas on.
I nearly put my pajamas on for class myself. I thought I'd treat you all.
But no, go get dressed.
If you want to make it pajama class next time, I'm quite happy with that. So Rachel, get your hands on the sides of the ball, I reckon. Yeah. And watch out for small animals.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I know you might not be able to take them out of your room. I totally get that, but just watch out. So we're just moving our feet around a little bit, feeling what it's like. We're just trying to stay as still as we can whilst we move a little bit of ourselves, just so we can get the measure of this and build up a bit of safe feelings really for the body, because when we're all tense, it's super, super difficult to do this. And just seeing how far your leg can go out when you feel comfortable, how far it can come in. That's it. And how much is your other leg having to work to catch you? And you already started the first exercise. We're already stabilizing ourselves. The rest of our body's compensating. It's all good stuff. And then bring your feet back to a comfortable distance apart. They might be quite far apart. They might be closer. It doesn't matter. Just feeling safe for you. Hands are still at the side of the ball. Right, we're going to do pelvic tilts. So it's familiar stuff, but you're going to have to sit up tall first. So if you feel like you're slouching and going downwards, we'll grow tall first. So it almost feels like the ball's not quite taking all our weight, but our feet are fairly relaxed. It doesn't feel like we're pushing down into them or pressing. From here, you can keep your hands on the ball. Think about your hip bones, and you can give them a little touch if you want to. Just lift one hand up and just check where they are. Right, growing tall. Take those hip bones back a little bit. So if you were in the class this morning, we did this in light this morning. And it's just a slightly different cue. So if I stand and get turned to the side, it's a pelvic tilt, but we're not really moving the ball. We're just moving ourselves. And just getting that little bit of movement into the back. We'll move the ball in a minute, I promise. And then just experiment with just lifting your hands away from the ball as you're doing that and seeing how secure you feel. And if you feel secure, I'd like you to push them in front of you like a stop sign and pull back and get that pelvic tilt, and your back will round a little bit like the waistband of your leggings stroke pajamas are going backwards. And you can keep pressing and then softening. I don't mind how high or low you press, but I'd like you to use a little exhale. So exhale as you press away, inhale as you come back. And a couple more. And then take your hands back to the side. And now we're going to do a little bit of movement with the ball, wiggling one side to the other and sitting heavy in the middle. So your shoulders and your head sort of stay in the same place, and your hips go over and up and down and over and up and down. This always makes me feel, there's a thing in our park that looks a bit like it's got a skateboard on it, and it's sort of like a pipe thing that goes like that, like a tube, and people roll up and down it standing, sort of holding a rail, and this makes me think of that. So now maybe you could take your hands onto your legs instead of on the ball. And if it feels too wobbly, put them back on the ball. If it feels okay here, maybe you could put them on your chest. And now we'll start to move our pelvis round in circles, but it's our pelvis, not our feet. So it's not this when you're pushing through your feet. It's really wiggling your bum around, wiggling your hips right around, and getting that circle. Your hands can be here, here, all the good places. And then take it the other way. Your hips and your pelvis are wondering what's happening because we're getting so much movement going on. And then bring it back to the centre. Oh, right, what have I said next? A little, oh yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah, well, forget about that. Let's go back to the feet. So now, hands on the ball or your legs, wherever they're comfortable. Legs comfortable distance, lifting just your toes. You can just see my toes coming up and down. So just seeing how that feels. And you can try it with your feet a little closer. You might even try it with your legs completely together. All starts to get a little bit more wibbly when it gets like that. And I feel sort of stable here, but it feels like it could go over that way. So just being aware and changing as you do, as you go. Yes, that's it. Now, a lot of you have got things close to you to touch. Excellent. As long as they're not things that move, you know, you don't want to be like some sort of trolley, hostess trolley, woo, in the distance as you touch it. And then put your toes down, raising your heels just a little bit, don't have to go super high. One at a time. That's it. Maybe both. Some of you have done ball quite a lot. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Some of you are like ball experts, so you might be on doubles, but if you're at the beginner level, just keep it singles. And then rocking one foot, so you're going forwards and backwards on it, getting heel and toe, and then the other foot. And just seeing what that shift is like when you go from one foot to another. We're trying not to wibble from side to side, we're trying to stay really nice and firm. That's it. And then take your feet a little bit wider just to give you a bit of a rest. Oh, right, let's just have a little twist and turn for the rest of the body. So just let the arms, one between the legs, one at the side of the ball, and turn. And then you can let your head turn just a little bit more. And then bring your head back to the centre. Arms swap over, the other one going in the middle, one at the side, turn, and turn your head a bit more. And we'll swap the arms over and do that again, one more on each side. And then come back to the centre and give your shoulders a roll and let your hands just be low on the ball. So you can feel it's like you're rubbing circles as a bonus into the ball. And occasionally you could put a forwards one in, it could be one or it can be two together. You know me with shoulders, we like to mix it up. And then resting down. Right, the next bit is a bit of bouncing. Now you can take this very, very gently, or if you've already done quite a bit of bouncing and you like the bounce, Susie, you might want to go a little bit more. But we're not going really fast, because when we go fast, you get too much momentum and it just gets too exciting, let's put it that way. Keeping the hands on the ball, gentle push down the legs like you're going to get up. And just see how slow you can go. We're not really hinging forwards, we're not sort of doing this to get up, so we're keeping fairly upright. But you definitely need your legs quite wide. And then we're going to try and alternate with a little pat. And instead of clapping, little leg pat. We don't have to all be in rhythm, by the way. And if it feels like you could clap, you can clap as well. And if that's feeling okay, oh, Libby's already on it. We can go, whoa, up in the air. Two more. Oh, and then let everything just settle in that passive little bounce. You're right, Rachel.
I think it's gone down. Sorry, I'm just going to try and fix it.
I just didn't know if you'd had a moment and you were like recovering on all fours.
Just measuring it. It's definitely not right.
So you can feel from doing that bounce, it's quite aerobic, that one. It really gets everything going. Now we're going to keep our hands on the ball again. So hands are at the sides. And we're going to take step forward, another step forward, step back and another step back. And just keep alternating, stepping backwards and forwards, one or two small steps. And trying to keep yourself upwards, especially as you go backwards, because if you push too hard, you'll go over the back. We don't want that. Does it feel, Rachel, like your legs are not flat here, like they're going sort of up, tipping towards you a bit?
I just feel like I'm dipping a bit too much into it,
Yeah.
but I think it's because I'm a bit heavy.
It just need more air in your ball.
Yeah.
And your ball, to be honest, it looks on the small side.
Yeah.
So you just need to sort of compensate by filling it more.
Okay.
But don't worry about that now. And then rest. Now, if you want to come into a rest position, just like in seated, I think this is probably your safest one. If you go into a roll down, you're quite close to the floor, but if you feel that you're okay with that, if you want to go down into a roll down, you can do, but my preference is the sort of leaning on my legs. But if you want a little moment going forwards, you can take it. What you can't do on this is sort of slump like we would in a chair, because then we really will fall off. And then bring yourself up. And just have a moment, check that you're feeling balanced. Your hands can be on the ball or on your legs. Right, we're going to place a hand on one leg and the other one's going on the ball, and we're just having a little twist round, but this time we want this leg and this hand to stay still. So it's a little bit more twisty. If you've got osteoporosis and osteopenia, this is about the most I would like you to twist. And we'll just do a few on this side like that. Breathe in whenever. And then swap, so the other hand is on the other thigh, it's keeping that still, it's like a little break, a bit of resistance. And we're turning the waist the other way. And we're growing tall as we do this. That's it. And then come back to the centre. We're going to put our hands on our chest. Legs definitely need to be quite wide. And we're going to hinge forwards, up, slightly back. You don't need to go very far. We don't want to fall backwards. So I'm more interested in you coming forwards and coming upright than going very far backwards. Just a tiny bit, it feels like a lot of effort anyway. That's it. And we're just finding our range of movement, finding a sort of comfort zone with this. Coming back to the centre, letting your arms go down. Palms are on the ball, take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your arms up like you're flying and then take them down, breathing in. Breathe out, lift them up. Breathe in, take them down. Keep it going. As you lift up, see if your whole body can come up just a little bit so you just feel a little bit taller. Lovely. Now I can see Kelly's doing some lovely hands here, so let's bring these arms in and then change those wrists, just so the wrists get a little bit of extra. And you might go a little bit higher, it's really bringing the flying into it. Oh, Libby's got her arms going right over the top. If you want a bit of Libby, this is what she's doing, is looking gorgeous. That's a bit more for the arms and the shoulders, but it's very good for the balance. But if your arms aren't so comfortable, take it down, keep it slow. And I'd like this rest position, just keep the breathing. And then take your arms down. We're going to bring both heels up with the legs quite wide. So you can either rest your hands here, here, or here, whichever you prefer. Take a breath in. Bring both heels up. See what it feels like, just holding it there, and then take them down. Grow a little taller. That crown is on. Oh, breath in. Breath out, lift those heels up. Lovely. Take it down. Going up. Coming down. Going up. Coming down. Option, bring the legs in a little. You can see mine only came in a little, not a huge amount, but it's going to be more wobbly. Breath in. Breathing out, heels up. Breathing in, take them down. Keep it going. Maybe your arms could come off. Maybe they could rest here. You can put them anywhere you fancy. I'm going to take my legs in a little bit more. You don't have to. You can take them out if you want to, if it's feeling too wobbly. Last one. And then take your legs a little bit wider. Just have a little wiggle. And then we're going to take our legs so that they're about 90 degrees apart. My angle is here, like there's a right angle here between the legs. So if you're in seated on Monday, you might know what's coming. We're going to have one leg still. It might be you're going to hold it on the inside. It might be you're going to hold it on the outside. You don't know yet. You're going to find out. This leg is going to dip in like that. So the knees going towards the ball and then towards the floor. This leg still and your body facing forwards. Stay with the same side. Now what's your still leg doing? Mine's trying to do that, so I'm going to hold it on the inside. I know that's what it does. I've done quite a few of these, but what's yours doing and where does your hand need to go? So we're really isolating the movement of this hip from the rest of your pelvis. That's it. I think this is more comfortable on the ball than it is on a chair. Last one. And then just have a little wriggle. Bring the legs in for a little rest for if you want to. They felt like they were out there for ages. They've got to go out there again. Taking them back out. Going for the other leg. So thinking, well, is this going to need the same? Not necessarily. But have your hand ready for a bit of support. This other knee's dipping in. This foot's turning to the side. This leg, what does it? Mine's wanting to do that. So I'm going on the inside and sort of pulling it the other way a little bit. It might be yours is trying to go out there and you're going that way, or you might have your hand on top. Now a little exhale as you do this. Keep your body facing forward. We'll do this turn another week. I'll save that for next time. That's it. And maybe two more. And then back to the centre. Bring your legs in, comfortable distance apart. A few side bends. So we're going to have one hand actually pushing into the ball a little bit. I like this on a fist. So it's just pushing down a little, and the other hand can go up, or you might have your hand here and you're just trying to open up this side. And then take it down. Other hand, other side. That's it. So you can be doing it like this. Now as you do this, you want your bum to stay on the ball, but it might feel a little bit lighter as your fist goes in. You don't want it to be going to one side. It's staying sort of steady and balanced. But this part of you is opening up. One more each side. And then take your legs wider, like we did before when we were doing those knee dips. We're going to turn one leg and take it away from us a little bit. Lovely. So you want to feel that you're quite steady like this. Then we can have a hand on the ball. This hand can go either up like this or across like that. So we can mix between the two if both are available to you. That one's a bit like you're sort of sweeping a desk. This one's more like you're reaching for the stars. Or you might reach ahead of you and then a little bit of a turn and reaching behind you. That's it.
You get squished as your fall.
Last one of these. So slowly adjust your legs. Hands on the ball, I think, for that one. And then we're going to slide this foot out. The knees turning down a little bit. This leg is outwards. This foot is firm. And then hand on the ball again. Reaching, might be across like that. It might be up to the gap between ceiling and wall. And you can also do a little sweep around, like you're clearing a desk. I don't know, sprinkling glitter, bit of magic. Last one. And then slowly bring your legs back, get yourself comfy again. I've got to change my plan, this isn't a move. Well, it nearly is, because this is where we're going next. So we're going to work our way into a stand. So we've got our legs comfortably wide now, hands on the ball, hinging forwards, just feeling your legs start to tense, get a bit tight in the thigh, weight is going into your feet. You might not feel it in your feet if you don't feel things in your feet. And then let your bum settle back, have a little bounce, just settle. Hinge forward, so like tipping yourself slightly forward, the weight's going down through the legs. Notice it. Where are you noticing it? Thighs, knees, feet, painful bits, all the bits you notice, and then sit back down again. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to stand. See if you can let that ball push you up. So more weight goes in your feet, and let it push you up. And if you're not happy doing it that way and you want to get up another way, go for it. Right, what I'd like you to do now, you're right there, Suzanne.
Yeah, I'm just watching what you're going to do and then I'll work out what to do.
Just wait. We're going to do a deadlift with the ball. So, my legs are quite wide. I'm going to hip hinge back, so I'm sending my bum back. You don't even have to lift it. You could just put your hands on it and then stand up. So you don't have to lift it, and it might roll around a little bit. We're not going to stand on it or anything fancy like that. If you're happy lifting it, give it a little lift and then plonk it down. But when you're doing this, the bum is going back each time. So you can imagine, you know, I like to get my drawer out here, and you can imagine your bum really shutting that drawer. So stick the bum backwards. You don't need to bend your knees very much. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Gorgeous job. If you want a little bit more, you can lift the ball higher. You might even want to try lifting it right up if that feels okay for you. It's quite a satisfying feeling. You don't normally lift anything big up. This looks fantastic. Everyone looks like, we're the strongest ever. Grrr.
Just hit the lampshade.
And the other thing you can do with the ball or without it is just take it to one side and then the other, just a small twist, and then pop it down. And we'll do one more of those. And then take it down, and the ball is staying down, and we're going to roll it against something. So you're going to wedge it somewhere, and you're going to stand against it with your legs against it. The ball's not going anywhere. We're going to move our legs, and we're going to use the resistance of the ball. So you're going to use one leg for standing, supporting, and this other leg, I'm going to use this leg closest to the camera, is going to move. And what I'd like you to do is take the foot back a little bit and then lift the heel towards your bum. Now, if you're feeling, actually I'm a bit wobbly, you might want a chair next to you or to put your hand against a wall. You might want a different place, so I might sort of do, I can't do it that way around, I can't demonstrate. What I would do actually, I think, if I wanted more balance, because I haven't got a wall next to me, is I'd possibly have, I've got a broomstick here, and I might use that to help balance me. Now, as you're trying to kick yourself in the bum with that leg, I want you to pay attention to the leg that's next to the ball. I don't want you to increase the pressure or change the pressure. Now, Penny,
Yeah.
looking at you at the moment, you look like you're bent over. Is this anything?
The only thing I can press it against is the chair.
Yeah, I want you so, because at the moment you're like this, and I don't think that's going to be so nice for your back. Is there anywhere else you you can put it against?
No.
Okay. Have you got a stick or anything like that with you?
I can probably get one.
I would rather you do that than you doing that, because it just doesn't look comfortable, and it's not going to work your bum in the same way, and I don't want to sort of strain your back. Is anybody else struggling to find something to hold on to?
I'm doing what you're saying, but it is pinching my lower back.
Okay, so if it's pinching your lower back, it may be your back is a little bit arched here as well, because, you know, just natural shape. Can think about lengthening it down a little bit without giving it a big hip thrust. So give it a stroke along the back, the bit you want to lengthen, and it's almost like, if I come close to the camera, and if you want to take a break here, by the way, you can. That's it. So you can see there's my bum sticking out. If I put my hand on the sacrum bit there and just encourage it downwards a little. Some people talk about the tailbone going downwards, which I always find a bit confusing. I can give you my very, very rude cue. You can swap sides. I'm just sorting out that people, yeah, Donna, what would help for you, I think, is having a pole or a stick or something. Because I can see your weight is shifting to get the balance.
Yeah. I don't really have that.
Try the other side and see what that one's like. You can lean into the ball, you can go closer and see if that helps. And then take it down. The next thing we can do, probably a little bit nicer, is stand back from the ball. You can do this seated as well, so put the ball between your legs, place your hands on it, push the ball away, and then walk it back. Push it away, and walk it back. If you're seated, just the same. Push it away as far as you want to, walk it back. You're trying to find the sort of stretch that is nice. So for some of you, you might find you just want to go a little bit. For others, you might find that you're going much further and letting your arms really extend and your legs straighten. It's going to really depend on your bodies. And then with the ball a little bit in front, but not all the way, not as far as it can go, just a bit in front of you, take the back of one hand and push it away. Bring it back, push it away. That's it. Swap arms. And then bring yourself back to sit on the ball. So I could see I needed really to suggest to you in advance that you need something extra for standing on that. I'll remember that for next time. It is still a new class really for me to be teaching, and so I sort of find out on the job on these ones what works and what doesn't. So that sort of did work a bit and then didn't work a bit on that bit when we were standing. All learning. Let's go back to pelvic tilts that we did at the beginning. So just doing those tiny pelvic tilts, the ball is hardly moving. You think you're sending your hip bones back. So tune into those hip bones. You can touch them if you want to. And then we can have our hands on our hips. because we've all got great balance now. And we can wiggle side to side and see how far you can send that ball. And how much noise you can make with it. And then we're going to start using our feet this time to push it round. You can have your hands on your ball if that feels better. It does make all the noises, and they are quite of a flatulent kind of noise. And the other way. And then bring yourself back to the center. We're going to take one hand towards the other hand, turn, bring the arm back, take one hand towards the other hand, we're turning. One more each side. Back to the center, give your shoulders a roll. Slowing it down, breathing in as they come forwards, out as they go round the back. Last one. Palms outwards. Take a breath in. Bring your arms somewhere up, hands somewhere together. Bring them into your chest. Give yourselves a clap.